Hey, association community, this is Paul Meyer, and I'm sequestered in my home office, just like I know many of you are. And it gives us an opportunity both to get work done and kind of catch up with things, but also, really reflect on what just happened in the last 3 weeks and what we went through and what we learned from what we went through. And it also was a time for me to reflect on some of the conversations that I had privy to with either clients or others around canceling or rescheduling or changing meetings and what we do going forward. And there's some guiding principles that I felt like came out of those conversations that I think are worthwhile for us to really think about as an association community. And I'd like to share those guiding principles with you right now because I think they're relevant to us going forward. First is and foremost is the importance of really thinking about our role as being mission driven or purpose driven. That's why we exist. And whenever we think about decisions, we don't think first and foremost about the fiscal elements of them. We think about how does this impact our mission or how does this impact our purpose? Because we are mission driven as not-for-profit organizations. But secondly, I really was impressed with how organizations and boards took on their responsibility for the fiscal success and future of the association. This is going to be difficult for us to get over this fiscal hump, but we know that we don't exist just for the fiscal part of it. We exist to serve our members and to pursue our mission, but yet at the same time, we have to understand that we have to be fiscally responsible. So seeing boards see the value and the importance of being fiscally responsible as well, to make sure that they're not only preserving the association for today, but making it available for others in the future was something that I saw that was really important. Thirdly, practicing what I would call thorough decision making, that we didn't see boards just looking at one side of an issue, but they were willing to look at the options and explore the advantages and disadvantages of different options and how you could respond. And I saw that as so important because we just want to be so careful that we're not politically driven, but we're actually driven by thoroughly knowledge-based decision-making in our approach. And we really look at the options to see what the right solution is for us. Responsibility both to members and the public. This was a really interesting one, especially with lots of healthcare clients that I observed. You had this sort of dual responsibility to obviously serve your members and do what's right for them and to respond to their own challenges like travel bans, et cetera. But we also had a responsibility to the public. And we have to remind ourselves that as not-for-profits, we have this sort of dual responsibility, these two important groups that we serve, our membership, whether they're individuals or corporations, as well as the public that they serve. And so this idea of being member-centric versus public-centric and the balance between the two, I saw associations really thinking through and admired at some of the decisions they made based on the importance of that balance. Influenced by cultural dynamics. This was very interesting to see how the culture of an industry or profession always plays into the decision-making process. If we're from a culture of members who are in that environment or that profession because they're risk adverse, sometimes we have to push them to take more risk. But on the other hand, if they're in an industry or profession that has high risk, sometimes the association has to take a less risky position. So it's this idea of, really importantly, this idea of culture and how the association culture may need to be different or the same as a membership culture, and how we have to recognize those cultural dynamics. Next, the idea of modeling creative community engagement. Obviously, at the end of the day, as associations, we're a group of people who want to engage together to do something, and we have to recognize that community is important to our members, and our job is to figure out the most creative way to provide that engagement going forward. And it isn't like we can't provide that engagement. I mean, we're all experiencing it, at least I am. Last 5 days, I'm ready to get out of here. I'm ready to be with my community. I'm ready to be with other people, whether I do that virtually or face-to-face, which I actually desire doing it face-to-face. It is a role that associations will be playing when people get frustrated with their isolation. The association should be coming out with virtual and creative ways for a community to get together. And I know that I've seen that already, and it's very impressive. And finally, really thinking through strategically how we're going to figure out the future. I know that that's tough for us right now because we're involved in this crisis, but the more we help our members think through the future, not only for the association, but their own environments, the more they're going to see the value of what we do. And lastly, this is our moment. And this is what I really wanted to emphasize in my thinking about this, as well as how we all need to think together. And that is, this is our moment to shine. When things are bad for our members and when they're frustrated in their own environments, it's our time as an association, as a community, to come together, provide them with benefits that we don't normally provide them with. This is your time to think about new products and services to offer them when they go through this time of transition, whether it's economic transition or it's just transition based on the pandemic we're facing right now. But it's this concept, this is our moment, this is our time. And so my encouragement to you is really think through and use a decision-making process that really looks at all the different options, provide solutions to your members, and really think through how you can keep providing those solutions even when times get tough. Because when times are tough for the association, they're also certainly tough for your members as well. And the more we can serve them in those tough times, the more beneficial will be to them going forward. So thanks a lot for listening. If you have any feedback or want to talk to me anymore, I'm here. Thank you very much. See you later. Bye.